the real ones. Have a toast for the let's have a toast for the real ones. Let's have a toast for the real. Let's have a toast for the real ones. Let's have a toast for the real. Let's have a toast for the real ones. Have a toast for the real. Let's have a toast for the real ones. Have a toast for the
What's up, everybody? It's your girl T from Adventures of Spirits, and we are back. Continuation of the white wine series with Spirit Scrutiny. Welcome, everybody, to Spirit Scrutiny, and we are continuing our white wine series as stated. And today we will be trying out Pinot Grigio, but we got to learn about Pinot Grigio first. Let me just share a little bit of information for you. All right. So those, if you want to know a little more about Sauvignon Blanc, as well as what wine is, some is basic knowledge, just check for my Sauvignon Blanc video. You'll be able to see it at the end of this video to give you just some insight, and this was during episode 1. So you'll feel more comfortable with moving forward with the rest of the series. Okay, so today we will be tasting Pinot Grigio. So Pinot Grigio, also known as Pinot Gris. Okay, so you're going to see it with both spellings, and there's a reason for both spellings. It is a white wine, and the grape originates in Alsace, France. Alsace, France. Trying to make sure I pronunciate the word correctly. And it basically differs in characteristics and reputation compared to their French counterpart, Pinot Gris. Okay, so basically, it's Pinot Grigio when it is from it's Pinot Grigio if it's from Italy. It's Pinot Gris when it's French. Okay, from France. So just so you'll know, it is dry. It is a dry white wine. So those who don't really like the dry wine, you may or may not like Pinot Grigio or Pinot Gris. The actual taste of both are pretty much the same. It actually pairs well, however, a lot with foods that have a lot of flavor, such as certain meats, fish, seafood, and pasta. I can tell you that I usually, now even though Sauvignon Blanc is my favorite still white wine, Pinot Grigio, for some reason, if it's on the menu and I'm actually at a Italian restaurant, I will normally get a Pinot Grigio, and sometimes it just depends on which one it is. You may find some at some restaurants, you may not, but you will almost always find a Sauvignon Blanc. So there are times that I'll just get the Sauvignon Blanc if I don't recognize the Pinot Grigio that they're offering. But today we will be tasting Elk Cove Pinot Gris. This one is Pinot Gris, okay? And this is my first time tasting it, so I'm tasting it with you all. The actual price point is about $25, so we're not in a high range of wine here. It's from Elk Cove Vineyards. It's a 2022, and it's 100% estate grown, meaning it is being grown on a property of the actual owners of the estate. And this is a family-owned vineyard, okay? And it's a family-owned for over 40 years. So they've been around the block for quite a long time. So let's get into and see what this Pinot Gris tastes like. And I love twist tops. Don't let anyone tell you that a twist top means that it's cheap. That's not correct. No, it doesn't. It doesn't mean anything about the quality of what's in the bottle. I like this top, like I said in my previous video, because I can easily put it back in my wine cooler. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead. It looked like I poured a little more than a taste in here, but it's okay. Hopefully it tastes good enough for me to finish it. So as we stated before, if it's your first time drinking wine for the day, when you do taste it, make sure you just want to swish it around and swallow it or spit it out and then taste it again. But for right now, what are we going to do? Okay, if you watch the first one, you're actually going to twirl it. The whole purpose of twirling it is to see what the body of it is like, as well as looking to see what the legs are. So this Pinot Gris is basically just like the Sauvignon Blanc. It's not heavy body, it's light body. There's not much legs to this particular wine. The color is a very, very pale yellow, even more lighter than the Sauvignon Blanc. This looks almost clear, actually, not as yellow as the Sauvignon Blanc was. And let's get to smelling. So it's kind of hard to tell you what's on the nose, what I smell with this wine. The bouquet is very faint. The smell is very faint. It's not a lot of robust flavors coming out of this glass. What I can tell you that the very faint smell that I smell is butter. Very similar to the Sauvignon Blanc, except I don't smell any fruit. Just butter and citrus. Okay, wait a minute. I'm getting a little more. Hold on. Okay, so what I had to do was actually tilt the glass to where the wine was closer to my nose. And now I smell, I don't know why I smell some orange. Very strange. Almost like a faint orange, as if it was watered down. That's what I'm smelling on this one. But the citrus is there and the butter is there. And again, like I said, it doesn't have that robust smell like the Sauvignon Blanc does. So let's go ahead and do the tasting. So the initial taste is citrus, literally just citrus. And like I said, it tastes like a watered down orange, or maybe if you put orange and lemon together, whatever that gives you, and just water it down, that's what it tastes like. It tastes like if you took a lemonade and the ice melted in it, but maybe you had a little orange juice in there from earlier. I can't really explain it, but very faint. The mouthfeel is the same as the Sauvignon Blanc. It's, like water. The finish, well, is very short because there's really no flavor anyway. So even if there was a lingering flavor, do I taste the citrus still? Yes. But that's about it. But then again, that's all I really smelled anyway. And the aftertaste it's not giving me anything new. Sometimes after you swallow, sometimes a different flavor may, an aftertaste may give you a different type of flavor. But I don't. The alcohol content of this one is not that high. Let's see what it says. Now it's fun. Oh, here it goes. It's at the very, very bottom. Okay, 13%. The Sauvignon Blanc that we tasted was 13.6. So this wasn't too bad from there. It does say in big bold letters contains sulfate. So let me tell you a little bit more about the sulfate. So the sulfate is wine ages, ferments, and it ages. It develops sulfates. Okay. And sulfates are basically was just a content that's generates in the wine, sort of just like if you if you leave grapes or whatever, it starts to, if you left old fruit in a bag, it begins to let off some type of gas or whatever. Well, sulfates is just a product of aging wine. And I can tell you, the older that the wine is, the more sulfates that it will incur. Now, sulfates, when you hear people say, oh, that wine gives me headaches, a lot of times it's because the sulfates are high in it or too high for you. So what I do, I'm not going to tell you to do this because I don't need YouTube to say, oh, I'm instructing people to, take medication and then drink alcohol. No, that's not what I'm implying. What I'm trying to say is those individuals who are on a daily regimen, like a prophylactic of allergy medication, like you're on an antihistamine consistently because of your allergies, chances are you all are probably not the ones getting headaches when you drink the wine, because your antihistamine that is consistently in your body, it fights off the sulfates. You don't have a problem with it. The sulfates become a problem when you don't have an antihistamine to fight it off, and that is what produces that headache. What I normally do is, like, if I was going to a tasting, or if I was going to dinner, or if I knew that I was going to be drinking wine, predominantly wine, and if I get a headache, it would normally be with a wine. What I do is early that morning, like when I'm first getting up for the day, I would take a 25 milligram pill, like a Benadryl, no different than taking a Claritin or whatever for the people who have allergies consistently. I would take that early in the morning because I know that later that evening I'm going to have some wine, and usually I don't end up with a headache. Okay. I am not telling you to take Benadryl right before you get to drinking. You are not supposed to be drinking while you're on medication. At that moment, don't do that. However, it does help. Okay. But this Elk Cove, I don't really give it a full thumbs up because there's really no flavor or taste to it at all. It's almost like, why drink it? So I get it. Now, there are some people that really don't want much of a taste. Or I can probably see people using this and maybe mixing it with something else to give it some flavor. I don't know, maybe they'll put it in a spritz or something, since the spritz is included with the liqueur, which gives it flavor and so forth. But I don't know. I wasn't too fond of this Elk Cove, this particular Pinot Gris. So maybe it'll be better another time. But anyway, thank you for joining me this evening on covering Pinot Grigio / Pinot Gris. And I hope to see you next week. If you like this video, please hit the like button and the subscribe, and please share to share out for others who may be interested in learning about wine. Please remember that with the Adventurers of Spirits, we have videos 2 to 3 times a week. On the second and fourth Monday of the month, our interview. I'm doing a YouTube series, a YouTube journey series by interviewing a lot of YouTube channels. You can learn a lot from there. Why they got started, their growth, their challenges, their lesson learned, and how they're growing moving forward, what to expect from them going forward. Every Tuesday at 7:30 p.m., we are live at the bar and recreating or creating cocktails. Me and my husband, Pretty Timmy is what he calls himself. And then here on Wednesdays is where we review spirits and wine. And for the next couple of weeks, we will be reviewing wine. Now, I may have some pop-up lives while I will be reviewing some samples that I received in reference to gin, bourbon, and whiskey. But those you will see in advance usually. So anyway, please hope you enjoyed this evening. And what is it? Next Wednesday, we will be covering, Riesling. We will be covering Riesling. All right, everyone. You all have a good evening and cheers.
Let's have a toast for the real ones.